Feels right. It's cold though, and heaters in it, man.
We can use this as a distance.
Ah, right,
You
so
just
that's
put
why
that
it's
in your
cold,
hoodie
isn't it?
pocket.
Yeah, you can feel like
So it'll
the.
stretch.
Because they're in the middle of their ice hockey season.
Ah, so that's not going away. That's
So
gonna
we have
stay.
we have a show, and we have your show in
Yeah.
here on Friday night. We're
Yeah.
setting it up tomorrow. Take it all out. They have an ice hockey match on Saturday night,
Ah,
and then
so-
we have a orchestra in on Sunday.
Andrew
So-
McGahon for the MacLife.com inside the SSE Arena ahead of the Bellator Bama card this Friday night, alongside the man who all eyes are going to be on, James Gallagher. James, am I right in saying this, without a doubt, I know the other show was big and you talked about coming out, but you weren't really in the arena beforehand to see all of this, to see the stage, to see where all your fans are going to be sitting. What do you feel right now at this moment?
It feels right. I think this is what I've always pictured as arenas like this, and this one's bigger than the last one, and it just feels like home. Do you know what I mean? It feels like I'm home. It feels where I should be, and that's it. I feel comfortable when I walk in here. Where people get a bit like they look around and see all the seats and the setup getting going on. Where I feel comfortable. This is like home to me, and I feel like a warmth when I walk in here. And when I walk out here on Friday night and I got the whole arena full of my people from Strabane in here, I'm going to feel a lot warmer.
Talk to me about that. You shared something on your Facebook page recently. It was your first MMA fight when you were 13, or I think it was the fight that you had before you took the break, but you were 13 years old regardless. Yeah. Do you think that being at such a young age and fighting at a show, maybe that seemed a much bigger deal as it was at the time? Do you know, in compared to scale, like now you're here and this doesn't seem anything to you. Yeah. You're used to being like kind of seen in a smaller venue, but as the smaller kid.
Yeah, definitely. That was my first ever MMA fight when I was 13 years old in my hometown of Strabane, and I just was watching it. I was coming out like giving it loads, and then I was running, jumping top of the cage when I won, and then I looked like that was years ago. Do you know what I mean? I feel that was a lifetime ago, and there was nothing even. You know what I mean? You would never hear tell of MMA back then. It was just a local thing, and I'm sure you guys weren't even doing your jobs back then, and I was only 13, and then now I look back in my fights and I'm doing the exact same thing as I was doing when I was 13 years old. Do you know what I mean? And people always criticize me for trying to do like be someone else or do not being me. But just take a look at that video. I don't see any different. It's the exact same now, and the only difference is I'm even more of an animal now.
A bit taller.
Back in and a bit taller.
When we're looking at this actual arena and you think that there have been events here recently, do you really think that the majority of people are coming here for James Gallagher? I know Strabane to Dublin was a very big trek for a lot of people, but still they came down in numbers to support you, as well as capturing the average fan or maybe the guy who just catches a card once or twice a month. They now know who James Gallagher is as well. Do you think that this is the one that's going to prove to the people that don't believe, the people, the doubters, the naysayers, that they are coming here for you and that you are the star?
100%. Do you know what I mean? I don't really focus, like, I'm not really paying attention on people that criticize me, because I'm forcing them to tune in. They're forced. They don't like me, but they're still coming on, and they're still looking at my posts. They're still liking all my shit. They're still buying the ticket. They come and watch me, even though they want to not see me do good. But I'm not really focused on that. I'm more focused on all the people coming from Strabane. They support me. I'm more focused on doing them proud and showing them right, because they're believing in me since I've been 13 years old, since I had my first fight in Strabane. There's busloads coming up on Friday night. They support me, and so I'm not trying to prove anyone, like, I'm not trying to prove that the naysayers wrong or the people that criticize me. I'm not trying to go and show them that they're wrong. I'm coming here to prove the people of Strabane and the people that are behind me that they're right, and that's the mindset I have coming into all my fights, and that's that.
I think that's very brave to say, because a lot of people get caught up in the age that we live in, the social media, that we're looking at our phones all the time, that you feel like you know more about people and there you're more qualified to give an opinion on them, or he should do this better, he should do that better. That's always been your ethos though, just to improve, to beat yourself, that no one works harder than you, that you are trying to beat the best version of your own self.
And that's the way it is, and that's the way it's always going to be. I'm not here to fight because some fat person that lives in his ma's basement is on his ma's laptop, can't even buy his own clothes, never mind come on and criticise me, who's been working my bollocks off every day in the gym to try and secure a future for myself and do something I love and do something productive. I'm not even going to entertain that. That's negative. Do you know what I mean? I'm all about being positive and achieving and success. That's not successful. Do you know what I mean? What, you can come on and criticize someone for doing good? I'm not about that. So I'm just focused on the people that support me and the people that believe in me, that I'm going to rise to the top, and the people that believe that I'm going to be one of the best fighters in the world. And I'm more about showing them that you're right. I'm going to do that for you. You're supporting me. Let's fucking do this together.
Two quick things. When we look at this arena, we know how many people are going to be in here on Friday night. Do you feel that the next time, and maybe after the reaction or your performance, that they come back to this country, they're going to have to come back to Belfast, and that you will be the guy in the main slot, the main event this time? Because going from Dublin to this, it seems like the next logical step, if Bellator come back to Ireland, that why not put an Irish guy on top of the bill? You were critical of it the last time. It seems like we've the same situation with Chris Fields getting injured. We don't have the local interest in the main event. Are you the guy to keep them there to the very last fight, to the very last second?
Am I not the main event? Did you see it in Dublin? How many people was in that arena after my fight? You would count it as a couple of hundred, a few hundred. Do you know what I mean? The place emptied, and I'm 99% sure that it's going to. But make no mistake about it, Liam McGarry is the main event, and Liam McGarry is a former Bellator world champion, and he's an absolute animal. And unfortunately, the Chris Fields, and Liam deserves the main event slot. I'm not taking that away from him, but really, I think I'm the main event, and I'm taking nothing away from Liam's ability and credit to him. But I feel like this is my show. It's another Gallagher show, the same way it was in Dublin. Taking nothing away from King Mo in Dublin or whatever, but it's let's call a spade a spade. It's another Gallagher show, and that's the way I see it. And I feel like I should be the main event, and I see myself as the main event. So it makes no difference to me where I am.
Final question, and I know we've kind of like overlooked the fight as such this weekend, but the one thing that I'm looking forward to most is that you're going against a guy for the first time who's a higher rank in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu than yourself, as the guy who was touted as the grappling prodigy from such a young age, getting your purple belt at a very young age as well. Just because he has a brown belt, do you think that the skill difference is still going to be too good between yourself and him? Is this the chance to show that the belt doesn't really matter, I have the ability here and my grappling is going to be better than yours?
Yeah, make no mistake about it, I have not been looking past him. So I have not been very focused on this and very focused on myself on this, focused on my training and the work that I'm putting in for this. I'm not looking past anyone. So I'm looking through him, and that's exactly where I'm going, straight through him. That's where I'm looking. And I'm a different level on the ground. So this is not a jiu-jitsu. We don't have jiu-jitsu gis on here. It's not. We go to the ground, I'm going to elbow him in the face, and I'm going to take his back, and I'm going to strangle him. And that's that. If it stands on the feet, I'm going to put one on his chin and hope he goes down. And I feel like I'm superior everywhere than him, and I feel like I'm going to beat him very quick. And I say it will be on the ground, and we'll soon see who's the better jiu-jitsu. Hopefully I'll get my brown belt after this.
Perfect. James, thank you very much.
Cheers.
Best of luck on Friday.
Thank you very much.